Islam has some incredibly odd teachings, and I'm putting that mildly. But every once in a while, we come across a command that's so unbelievably absurd on so many levels. We can only wonder why Muhammad wasn't laughed out of Arabia when he delivered it to his followers. Take, for instance, Muhammad's solution to the following problem. Suppose a man and a woman, who aren't married to each other, need to be alone together for some reason. Perhaps the man is a household servant and the woman's husband goes away on business trips. How are the man and the woman, who aren't married to each other, supposed to avoid having sex? This problem was actually brought to Muhammad, and Allah himself provided the solution. Allah, in his timeless wisdom, revealed in the Quran that in order to prevent any sort of illicit sexual encounter, the woman should breastfeed the grown man 10 times. This will technically make the woman the man's foster mother, so they won't be tempted to have sex. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, 10 breastfeedings, that's too much, don't worry, Allah has got you covered. Even though the Quran is supposedly Allah's eternal word, Allah eventually changed his eternal mind about the need for 10 breastfeedings. 5, it turns out, is quite sufficient. Sahih Muslim, 3598. It was narrated from Amra that she heard Aisha say, when she was mentioning what kind of breastfeeding makes a person a mahram. A mahram is a relative you're not allowed to marry or have sex with. 10 definite breastfeedings were revealed in the Quran, then 5 definite breastfeedings were revealed too. Notice that Aisha says these verses were revealed in the Quran. Let's read another. Sahih Muslim, 3597. It was narrated that Aisha said, among the things that were revealed of the Quran was that 10 definite breastfeedings make a person a mahram. Then that was abrogated and replaced with 5 definite breastfeedings, and the Messenger of Allah passed away when this was among the things that were recited of the Quran. So Allah revealed 2 Quran verses about breastfeeding adults. One verse requiring 10 breastfeedings, which was later abrogated by a second verse requiring 5 breastfeedings. Aisha specifically says that this was among the things that were recited of the Quran when Muhammad died. But you can read the Quran we have today until your brain falls out, and you won't find either of these verses. So what happened to them? Well, Aisha tells us what happened to the first verse in Sunan ibn Majah, 1944. It was narrated that Aisha said, the verse of stoning and of breastfeeding an adult 10 times was revealed, and the paper was with me under my pillow. When the Messenger of Allah died, we were preoccupied with his death, and a tame sheep came in and ate it. The 7th century version of the dog ate my homework was apparently a sheep ate my Quran verses. That explains the disappearance of the verse requiring 10 breastfeedings, but the other verse commanding 5 breastfeedings isn't in the Quran either. So we can only conclude that both verses on breastfeeding adults were eaten by Aisha's sheep.